My name's MIchaelSpeakmon. I'm from Lawton, Oklahoma. I'm a member of the Lawton Ambucks. I joined Ambucks in 2003. My son is autistic, and back in 2003, the Lawton Club gave my son an Amtrike because he couldn't ride a regular bicycle. And so after they gave me the Amtrike, I was very interested. I had done some volunteer work in the past, and I joined about 2 months after they gave Zachary the Amtrike. When you have a special needs child, you live in a different world than most everybody else lives in, because you just don't deal with your special needs child, you deal with a lot of others. You know, when a child reaches 12 years old, they fall out of the daycare system. You know, they go to the school system. Well, special needs kids have to have a place to go. So we're really our own little community. And a lot of your Ambucks members that are members and have great hearts and they love giving and they love the Amtrikes, they love scholarships, they don't necessarily see that side of the special needs world. I wanted to give back. They did something for me, and as a parent of a special needs child, anybody who helps me, I'm going to help give back. Again, we live in a different world, and we live in a more expensive world. You know, so anything anybody does for me that's going to help me just help my son, then I'm going to give back. We're very fortunate. The Lawton Ambucks have had a fundraiser for the past 56 years we call Pancake Days. We're there from about 4:30 in the morning until about 8 o'clock at night. We start serving from 6:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. and we're there. We'll serve 6,000 to 7,000 people in a day, and that's our largest fundraiser. I believe last year we netted probably around $25,000. So we're very fortunate to have that kind of a fundraiser. All Ambucks do have a common bond, and that common bond, in Mike's opinion, in my opinion, is we just love serving other people and helping other people. And initially it was about the children, you know, getting the Amtrikes into the hands of the children, but now we can go from a little 2-year-old child all the way up to a senior citizen with the different type of bikes that we can offer. And the Amtrike has really done a lot to really boost what Ambucks can do. Before it was all about scholarships and ramps, and the Amtrike comes along and just explodes the organization and how we're able to help. But the basic Ambuck just really loves helping people. The national convention occurs in the middle of July, and then our year starts on the 1st of June. So this is basically the first big thing that Ambucks do every year, and this is a great way to jumpstart the year. You get your presidents and your leadership in the organization, you get them pumped up, and they're coming out of here, they're ready to go. They take that back to their clubs, their districts, their regions, whatever, and then everybody's just, yes, let's go, let's do what we've got to do. And so it's a really great way to kick off the year. To me, mobility is just getting from point A to point B and how you get there. But to my son, mobility has a whole different definition because he can't just choose whatever modality he wants to choose. You know, with the Amtrike, he can ride around the block, and we can do that kind of a family event. But without the Amtrike, he's just stuck. It's not so much the mobility, and you'll hear Rick talk about this. It's a life-changing experience because you've added quality of life. You've given that parent a sense of relief, and you've given the child a sense of responsibility. They can be a normal child. They can do things that normal children do. But from a parental perspective, it's priceless. Every child is different and every experience is different. You know, you'll get those kids in there and they'll come in and they'll just be jumping for joy, can't wait to get their hands on it, and then you'll get the kid resisting and fighting, you know, to get that bike. But once they get on the bike and they get on there for a while, it's a different experience for them, and it becomes a joyful experience for them. Every child is different, every experience is different, but every one of them is positive one way or another. If you look at where the Ambucks are throughout the country, you've got this really huge belt in the Great Plains region, which is Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, that area, and a little bit of Arkansas. That's where the bulk of your Ambucks are, in the center of the country. And what we're trying to do now is kind of spread out. The Lawton, Oklahoma area, we have 3 clubs in Lawton, Oklahoma, and you know, we're all competing for those same dollars from the same merchants to do the same mission. But there's no negative connotations in that. There's no, we're going to outdo you or that kind of stuff. We all work together in that one little community trying to get the word spread out. The Veterans Project is very new. And then, of course, the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and the number of wounded warriors we have coming back from that is having an impact on that. There's a greater need now, in my opinion, than there ever has been. I think it's extremely important that we're not just hitting the veterans, but some of these active duty soldiers, they come back with their wounds, we can help them. The hard part for AMBUCS, how do we get our product into the military system? It's not like you can walk into a military hospital and just drop off an Amtrak and say, have a good time, see ya. It's a very long process. So we have our mobility committee, the national organization, they're working those issues to try and figure out how we can get this bike out. But the purpose is not to make AMBUCS and say, okay, woohoo, we're AMBUCS. The purpose is to get this awesome product and this great tool to the therapists all over the country, all over the world who need them to help other people.